Oi, oi. Ok. Aqui também está tudo a funcionar. Bora lá então.
This found, A to Z, abandoned by its owner, still stands in the shadow of the ruins above it. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, but one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes? Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Looks like her, yes. Now we know for certain who is the missing eighth person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation? You're right, but we should still go and see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console and a faint smell of perfume is in the air. Voila, a stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881. High above the mass of brown and red roofs, that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield. To Couron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Tract.
So it would seem. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them. Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it. The Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names like La Puta Madre and Aura Masta, it's a dark parody. It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved. Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick these up later.
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable. The movie stars look silently by, and the pull-out toolbox has a rubber handle, worn from years of use. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper. It's an issue of FFXVI from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Posters, a radio, and close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them, to other ends, as extra ammunition.
Meaning, someone as slippery as Everard won't be caught by a couple of cops and some stuff they found in some cabin.
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. Yes, well... As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. Yes, well... As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. I'm going to say no. We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause, an investigation I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Debrief over. After you.
Deixa eu lá ver o que é que isto diz aqui. Isto é interessante. Temos 3 sítios para ir. Então. Opa.
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble? Still better than me, I guess. Told you there's plenty of others who'd tell on her. But is she in trouble? Oh man, that's like a load off my mind. All that stress was messing up my rhymes.
He chooses to believe what's best for her.
Oh, you know. Tommy Leham's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to home.
The correct grammar is Tommy Lahom.
Tommy Lam was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm. Wait, there's something here, stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like...
Whoa. What else? Silent communion. That's good. Dang, that's some great shit. You came up with that yourself.
Or did you learn it in school? More importantly, who can prove if you did? Go with it. You deserve some acclaim.
No matter. Great verse is like that sometimes. Ephemeral. You might not look it. Seems you have some literary chops. Maybe there's hope for me yet. Just messing with you. It's cool. You're an okay guy. For a cop. They're more often in the fists than rhymes, see? Let alone honesty in verse. Well, you've given me some hope, I guess.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grâce?
The thought forms in your head, like a lightning strike branching in the sky.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course.
Yes, but that just sends everyone else to Jamrock, doesn't it?
We haven't done anything, but theoretically, it has to be someone's problem, so it might as well be yours.
Titus, I'm amazed. Where is the same professionalism when it comes to other topics? You're doing great. I hardly have to interfere at all.
I don't know, Lizzie. I guess theoretical things don't make me emotional. Now, was there anything else?
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy boys here.
My answer is fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no eighth Hardy. I run this goddamn scene.
And here we go. Back to the usual.
I know! Fatty walked on all fours. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints.
Despite everything, the little man is quick on his feet.
Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours. Anything else you need to know? I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your aggressive? You make your living in force.
Just dock workers. Do dock workers spy on...
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revish.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Look, a comedian. Do your job. Ask your question.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
Yes?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them...
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is...
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands. Yes, I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply an opening gambit, like you suggested, or a joke even. They did not appreciate the humor. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, they wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to... He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders. For now, it's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants. It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
The Débardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's 2nd largest insect, can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
These men work in tandem using semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
As I said, a bloodbath. Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called down. They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in
Está
all
intenso.
fourth world countries. Guarding facilities.
Temos que resolver isto, senão vai acontecer uma guerra civil, basicamente.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes, all the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil. Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, It's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. The remaining contractors, their tribunal, it's what they believe. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around the...
The lieutenant consults his notebook. His
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group... That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the Colonel's remaining colleagues believe. If you mean did I see him alive, yes. But I did not know him. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying...
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body.
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg.
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case...
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel. I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask. Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it. Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started...
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this, Revachol. Those are the two constants, Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Semines Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture.
Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis. I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me. Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways. if you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet, but I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me.
She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences feel rusty.
Yes, I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tune.
What's he in trouble for? Talk?
What was so funny about?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
What happened here? It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here. Indeed. You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says 10. You hear someone walk. The walking stops abruptly. Sounded like a woman. A woman's shoes. A poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated.
Let's go. We don't have a reason.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says number 11. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. No reply. That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers. The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mezov and the communards during the revolution. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, disappointment, and fear in equal measure. To symbolize the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using it. The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, and at the same time above it. because white is the color of peace. Gone is the glory of hope. Only the scribblings of impoverished students remain in dirty hallways. You are the big communism builder now. It's you or no one. Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbor until it happened. A great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline. Fired from the water, a straight shot into Revachol. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling until it was destroyed, and they had a direct firing line. The waves of the Martinez Inlet rolled over the fallen remains of the building. The dark waters obscured the better part of the remains. What didn't fall into the ocean was used as scrap. What wasn't used as scrap was thrown into the ocean. Those arches acted as support for something greater than what you see now. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. Restoration has failed. What the shelling took out was never rebuilt. A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesk volunteers, a 5-nation army. They massed airships further down in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful. The ships not only required gyroscopic stabilization, many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water. Far in the northeast, Coalition warship Archer can shoot 50 shells a minute on 20 co-aligned archers. They will reach the city in 58 seconds.
The Coalition. But that was a long time ago. I think we should move on. It's chilly up here.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Espérance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
A brush? An artist? The that smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil. Red-dyed heavy fuel oil is only used in government vehicles, or at least that's the idea. The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her. On a first-name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world. Have you got a crush on her? Aching for an opportunity to defend her.
The lieutenant is hatred, the woman on...
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her. On a first-name basis, Pig's not half as dumb as he looks. Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at graffiti-o? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff. Like pig. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona, so... This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know. Summon the forces of crime and social chaos. Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come.
She means the opposite.
I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm...
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko. What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock. Something to think about next time you're driving around in your pretty little piggy carriage. What do I care about some fucking tin eggshells? Ugh, alright, sad piggy. I'll give you this one. I saw a little girl in the fishing village running around with military-grade handwear. Looked cute as hell. If you haven't been there, the village is a shithole down the coast from the main plaza. Have a good time! No. That's all the snitching Cindy the Skull does for today. I have a weakness for animals. It's the animal thing again. Damn it.
Or a weakness for police officers, miss. Thank you either way.
Watch your back, Ungulate. You've got eyes on you. Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? Ooh. Not only have you found my address.
She does have eyes that seem to be smeared with coal.
It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now.
The inspiration will come to her once hell is set loose on the streets. It's too calm right now.
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me. But somehow, it never does anyone in a city like this. Shoot, Piggy. It's what you do, isn't it?
Tanta coisa a acontecer.
This
Oh,
door is
28.
made of metal
Yeah.
and appears to be reinforced. Someone number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said.
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
This door, number 20. No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good? The smoker on the balcony. This is why we're here, right? He might know something about the murder.
Don't worry. It's mostly all still here. You can remember things. You got this.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28. Good, let's go.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Remember, tomorrow, he's probably gone for today.
Trying to sneak up on me.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
There was a revitalization project in 49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick. They got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour. I suspect that something was Everard Clare, the union leader. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here. We should have done something about the Union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring of metal, the curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible, a half-sunken sea fort, its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out. Really?
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Probably some kids.
A simple but clever solution to ruin in a coin-operated viewer. It took ingenuity. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk, written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the Star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Pericarnassian church, a star. Around the large wooden building you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and a book about cockatoos. There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies.
A sulphur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. A sulphur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title. From A to Zurich. Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species. You don't have behavioral problems. That's garbage. You're cool.
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious. Oh, a nature enthusiast. Good choice. I knew it was a good idea to keep that.
small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. The lips of the corpse are swollen preposterously.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. The lips of the corpse.
Who is he? He is male. I thought we decided to leave it to processing.
Damn it. This is turning in. Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone asleep. The bear's eyes are still glowing red. The lips of the corpse.
Who is he? He is...
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
I'm gone. I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Corporangelo. Into the wild pale yonder. In the past. Way out in the west. I'm a joke. Look at me. There is nothing funny about jokes either. A killer, a motherfucker, and a killer. Go ahead, Cobbo. What do you mean? It's the power of your... imagine. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. You fucking love questions. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions? Here you go, you loony. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry. You might be onto something there. Because you have. Do I remind you?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure wriggled out of that one, Coppellini. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye? I'm listening. Yes.
A bit of. It's not about the haircut, it's about the confidence.
I guess it just wasn't. It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club. It didn't.
It's not really full of that. No one would store it.
Eventually, the coalition took away. Oh, this one turns.
What's the snow?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway, and I have no idea. Yeah, don't. You mean miss anything else? There used to be a fashion atelier. Yeah, and you know how, and naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers used to be seen in Kyten. Really? Anyway, they were made. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he still said, sure, it's illegal.
They were just the props. Why maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it.
Fortress accident. They were an interesting but
that's understandable.
They certainly took their work the usual. Well, they see.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
That's what I thought. Because when the money started to run out, in the end they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time. Still, not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the game.
The result is...
Anything else? Oh boy, the play.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
Of course not. The bell was eventually Ravishal Ice City lost the price war to its rival. Glass A 5,000. Glass A 5,000, so maybe. Because the taxidermist who made the bear definitely wasn't doing his job. He said that the bear was his vision bee.
Sounds cool.
Megatherion, a mega wild beast. It's an imaginary beast by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. Very good. You shouldn't do them. Anyway, now...
Little sparkling embers under the window.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work. But sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye?
A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
Didn't we already talk about this? What are you talking about? My address is exactly the same.
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture, its ruins swallowed up. Yet it has a different address in the heart of the city.
This doesn't make any sense. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from? And what? Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from her face.
Do you know what this is? It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited from my parents. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan. It wasn't just the jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed to try again and again until you finally succeed. And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney? Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out the way you want it. That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try again. Still, there is something inherently violent even about dice rolls. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending or an entirely different world. But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment.
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable. Still seems like an old bunker from the revolution. It means there are fire...
This orange machine is dead still. Turning the crank feels... You slip your fingers under... No. This is going to need something else. Some kind of... If you want to try again.
Equip the pry bar by going...
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric... Only the red cable is plugged into the breaker. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current. This orange machine is but you slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold. No. If you want...
Equip the pry bar by going to the tool...
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red...
what are you doing? We need the fridge for the body. You can't just unplug it.
Something close to you.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk the fuck about it. Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows all kinds of shit. Kuno's not a snitch, that's all. She probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went. You heard Kuno? Kuno wasn't even in Martinez.
The city's too large for him to have left, but he wasn't here either. So where was he?
I don't know. Some fucking Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night.
There is no Night City anywhere. That sounds like the name of a city in some pulp.
Why you gotta be riding Kuno's ass? You haven't been where Kuno's been. You wanna know where Kuno was? You wanna know what Kuno...
Don't tell him that,
Kuno. It's lame.
It's not fucking lame. Kuno's building Kuno's City. Night City. Raid City.
Lame.
That's the name of Kuno's City, bitch. Get the fuck off Kuno's back. This shit ain't about that.
It's impossible to deduce what it is about, at least for the moment. If it's important, it'll come up later. Focus on the case.
You're testing.
Get lost.
Kuno. Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck about it? Just a couple of pigs.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty Kuno.
Your test.
Get lost.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying you pigs are after the mug fucker 'cause he's the clothes fucker?
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak louder, Kuno.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get tied to the radiator. Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did, he wouldn't squeal.
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious.
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching. Get away from my Kuno.
Yeah? Get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit done and out of Kuno's face. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't... Fuck does Kuno care? Yeah? The kingdom... Look at that. Fuck does Kuno...
The lieutenant takes...
It's a trap, Kuno. Don't climb it, Kuno.
The fuck? A mug in the trash? Is this about the fuck? Yeah, back out of this shit with...
Back out and take your fat ass with you.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit.
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
Kuno doesn't do that smart shit. Don't throw that book shit at Kuno. Trying to get Kuno hooked on the book.
Watch out, Kuno. He's trying to fiddle you. He's gonna put his hands on you. Help! Pig's got Kuno.
Help! He's got the Kuno.
Everyone can hear. You need to get the hell out of here before.
Yeah? Get out of here before the Kuno beats the
Yeah, that's right. Drag your fat ass out of here, fat boy, before Kuno
Got fucked by the Kuno. We alright? You wanna get fucked again? Come back. Fuck does Kuno care?
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out.
No! You told him about it and now he knows...
The city's not fucking lame. You are lame. Kuno's tired of defending Rage City from... And fuck you too, putting Kuno on the spot like that. Kuno doesn't need to fucking explain it.
Explain himself? As if explaining some kind of work? Some kind of avant-garde work where you must get to the bottom of this one of these days.
Kuno doesn't...
Why does art inspire you so much? Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual. In short, art is the highest form of human communication. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too. Of course not. It's autism, box drawing, masturbation with a ruler and a sextant or whatever they use. You should demean and criticize the genteel institution of architecture, while extolling only the most experimental kind. Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. Quit being so indecisive. What are you going for here? So exactly, it's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street, you must also apprehend. Go ahead and provide.
Fuck does Kuno care?
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid.
The fuck are you calling a third
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to help!
Help!
Everyone can hear.
Everybody, please!
Escalate, Kuno! It's
Pigs in here in Kuno! Somebody...
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to him.
Help! Misters, help! He's flashing Kuno! He's showing fucking logical! Help! The logical pig is fiddling Kuno! No! Get off Kuno, you...
The nearly psychopathic way they could slip in and out of the act implies you're not the first victim.
No one? Kuno's doing this because he likes it, pig.
Help! The pig's gagging him! Kuno can't speak!
You put him up to this yourself. When you
Listen to your friend. Kuno owns the fat ass. Help! The RCM is trying to fuck Kuno!
You put him up to...
Listen to your friend.
You're fucking losing it, you fat...
Help, people! The RCM is trying to fuck Kuno in the ass!
You put him up to...
Listen to your friend.
Yeah, we're all in this together!
The lieutenant doesn't.
Help!
You put him up to this...
Listen to your friend. Help! The RCM is trying to fuck Kuno in the... Help! He's flashing Kuno! He's showing his genitals. Look.
For emphasis, a ghost is saying this. A shit-eating.
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look that Kuno's dad gets. The murder look.
Relax. He can't read your mind. There's a dead body, remember. That's what you were doing here. You're a cop on a case.
I can. Kuno can smell that violent shit. I know what you were thinking. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut his shit down. You know what? You're nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King!
Kuno turned you into his prison bit!
No, you're not. We...
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
You don't talk to me about my fucking peeper! You don't know where I come from! You're just Kuno's bottom bitch!
Okay. Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions, but remember, this changes shit.
Click, 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 click!
Kuno doesn't... Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno's Kuno. You already know that slow shit. Kuno thinks you have brain damage or some shit. Kuno cares.
Kuno, stop being nice to the pig! Step away from Kuno, fat ass!
Ease off, see. Don't be telling Kuno what Kuno can do. What else you want, pigman? Kuno... Kuno care?
It's not Kuno. It's Kuno S. Kuno S is by far the worst of the two. Kuno has no problem being near you, but the other hides behind the fence, afraid for her life, like she's done something. She came up with that psychopathic scheme of screaming for help before. Kuno just wanted to talk to you about his name. Kuno S was the one who wound him up and directed him. Also, Kuno hasn't stopped talking to you, even enjoys it from time to time. When you talk to the other one, it's like talking to a cornered animal. She only hisses and says murder was the case that they gave her. And then there's the fact that she's a girl and appears to be a little younger, certainly smaller. And yet Kuno, all in all, Kuno respects madness. You cannot hope to outdo her on that front. You must win yourself a few minutes with him alone.
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it. But
Fuck you f***ing whispering about!
she puts extra stress onto that word, expecting it will make you
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up. Don't make Kuno look bad in this.
It's okay. The pig's trying to pit us against each other.
That's it. You let him off the line. That was a bad, manipulative thing to say. You should understand. I got you this far. I couldn't get you.
Try to fuck my Kuno! Try to fuck my Kuno away! Me and Kuno are tight. We ride for life.
Kuno doesn't... Fuck does Kuno care?
You were too pushy last time. Think this through. Just look. While Kuno has no problem, she came up with that psycho. Also, Kuno. And then there's the all in all. Kuno.
Fuck you whispering about?
He's whispering too. He's going with it. But watch.
Fuck you f***ing whispering about...
She puts extra stress onto that word.
If Kuno wants to whisper, he's gonna fucking whisper, okay? Let's whisper, pig.
This is it. You've got him. But be careful. You can still fuck this up.
She's not fucked up. Everyone's fucked up. Stop judging shit.
Wrong move. But he's whispering still. You haven't lost him. Just don't mess up again. Or you will.
Crazy? You don't know the half of it. She's not crazy. She's insane. Dangerous. She's smoked a man. She's done people in. Probably even pigs.
Stop talking to him! Kuno, I'm fucking warning you! You're gonna get us into shit!
She understands what you're trying to do.
Yo, see? Did Kuno not tell ya? Kuno told ya. Kuno talks to whoever he wants. Talk, pig. Kuno's got it under control.
You did it. They're separated. He's even turned his back to her so she can't read his lips.
Yeah, she's psycho. None of that kiddie psycho. Cat burn and shit. She does the real deal. Yeah. Snuff radio shit. Believe me, pig, you don't want to know.
And he doesn't even want to think about it. This isn't just another boast.
Yeah, she would have liked to fuck him up, but she didn't. Kuno wasn't around, and C was with Kuno. Look, Kuno's gonna put you at ease. We didn't do it.
He speaks the truth, my liege.
Fuck knows. She says it's the song of her people or some shit. Crazy people. The fucking Nakis. I don't know.
It's Suruese. The Suru are an indigenous ethnic minority. In the social democratic powerhouse, Vasa, on the tundra and tiger-covered Isola of Katla, far, far away from here, as far as possible, really. You mean evil little red-haired people like her? Yes, they do.
Surois? Like that man from Helmdall shit? She could be. She could be that Helmdall shit.
Revelshot does have a small Suroese community, or she climbed into a yakberry crate and was shipped over accidentally.
Kuno means she killed someone. That's right, she's a killer.
His little green eyes are fixed on you. He's meant everything he said before, but right now, he not only means it, he is sincere.
Killing is serious shit. Kuno's always serious about the 488.
488. The criminal code doesn't go higher than 190.
She's probably killed a pig too. I mean, I'm pretty sure she has. I knew you pigs were too naive for this shit. Good thing Kuno's got her under control. Kuno keeps her calm.
A cop would be too large for her to overpower, but a determined child of her size can still kill. The creature peers at you both from over the fence. There is something searching in her eyes.
Kuno means...
His little green... He's meant everything he said before, but right now...
Fucking yeah. Kuno knows you don't want to face this right now. This dark shit. Kuno faces this shit every day. She's probably killed a pig too. I mean, forget Kuno said that. Kuno was just shitting. Kuno was just running his mouth. Kuno's stupid like that.
A cop would be too large for her to... The creature peers at you both from over the fence. Kuno falls silent. He doesn't...
Kuno, there, that's it. That's what Kuno is standing.
He usually looks you straight in the eye. A little something just crumbled there.
Fuck no, she's not my sister. She's just a stray who got in. Like a mad dog or some shit. Yeah, she was just there.
What was that, Kuno?
She was in the hallway, dripping wet, by the fucking shoe rack, in the dark.
A shoe cupboard just off to the right. Have you been to this place?
Kuno's got no fucking idea. Her hair was all wet. I think she pissed on the floor too. She was there for 3 days. I don't know. Someone left the door open. Kuno comes home and she's sleeping under the desk, under the pile of clothes, like a dog. Kuno's dad doesn't give a shit. Doesn't even see her there, or thinks it's fucking Kuno. Shit's all on Kuno. How's Kuno dealing with this? Kuno's dealing with it just fine. He doesn't need you fucking with this, waving your gun, mad dog shit. Kuno remembers what you did there. Kuno's got this shit under control. Listen, listen. See, it's Kuno's go-to. Kuno's protecting her. You fuck with C, you fuck with Kuno. You threaten her. You wave your gun around her one more time.
This is what it all comes down to. He needs you to take him seriously now.
I'm going to kill you. I'll run when you put the cuffs on her, sneak up on you later, and fuck you up. You understand? Alright, now we can do business. Yeah? What do you want? Kuno can hook you up with...
Don't hook him up with shit, Kuno!
See? Relax. He respects the Kuno. Kuno made him respect the Kuno. You respect the Kuno, you get all kinds. Kuno's gonna get you hooked on illegal narcotics if you run a little errand for the Kuno. Get you hooked, pig. Get his hook in you. Then Kuno gonna get you hooking for more. Cash in big style. Pig hooker. See, it's tension and release with Kuno. Now we releasing. The pan buying shit, that's on now too. 90% discount for Kuno's pig. Kuno can flex. Kuno flexes for hobos. Kuno sees you're in need. Here, pig. We're fun now. Performance buddies. Kuno can already see you soaring through the air like a fucking eagle. Pig's in Kuno's debt now. Money debt?
Money debt doesn't mean anything. He's just saying words. You're not in his debt.
Kuno doesn't fucking care. Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno gets it from his dad. Kuno and his dad are major suppliers. That's where Kuno gets his lightning on. Problem is, Kuno and his dad had a little falling out. Now junkies clawing at Kuno's door. Streets going mad. Kuno's got to throw his dirty popo man at it. Dirty popo man is you. In there is Kuno's violent dad on steroids. Kuno's dad does steroids and speed. If you can take him, you can have half of the speed. Kuno's dad is a fucking monster. He's the most violent man in Revachol. He doesn't give a shit about a single thing. He drinks too.
Are you sure you can take on the most violent man in Revachol? In your condition?
Like half. A baggie, but like in this vial.
That's half a gram, sir.
Yeah, half a G. Want it or not? Fuck you talking about half a G? This shit is giant, grade A shit. So clean you can barely see it.
You can barely see it because there's barely any.
Okay, Kuno's listening. Alright, pig. You can plug him, but you can't stop him. It'll only buy you time. Just get in the apartment building. Kuno knows you already fucked your way in. Kuno knows everything. Go to room 12, first floor, and kick down the door. Police violence style. Kuno style. And then it's action time. You're locked in the room with violent fuckheads. That's it. Next time Kuno sees you, you better have his shit.
What the hell are you signing us up for here? Okay then.
Kuno doesn't...
The tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. The tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. Nope, no, that's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast, you're a boxer, and you've climbed way too high. You could have died there. Shit.
Hey, what happened? I understand. We can always come back when you are feeling better.
tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. Nope, no. That's still too high. What you could have dived.
Hey! I understand. We can always come back.
A tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing.
Oi, mozão.
No, that's still too high. You could have dived.
Hey! I understand. We can always come back.
A tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. Nope, no. That's still too high. What were you thinking? You're not a gymnast.
Sim,
You're a
tô bem,
boxer,
porquê?
and you've climbed way too high up here. You could have done.
Hey! I understand. We can.
O que é que se passa? Ah, ok. Não, está tudo bem. Eu é que estou tipo aqui. Estes 58% de chance já é para aí a quinta vez que vou fazer. Mas continua a falhar, não sei porquê. Sorte não estou a ter nenhuma agora. Estou a ter mesmo o oposto de sorte. Se fosse um 50-50, ainda pensava que isto era normal, mas tipo 5 vezes de seguida, acho que a probabilidade de acontecer 5 vezes de seguida já é de veras alta. Finalmente, a sexta.
As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses.
O jogo está-me a testar.
As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive, alert, capable. Must be the adrenaline.
Se eu agora quer ver a outra opção.
My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. As you leap in the air, ankles tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ears. You are ready for your rendezvous with the ankles tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ear. As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive.
I knew you could do it.
With your feet firmly planted. This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather. This is the night watchman's booth.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. Looks like the inhabitant is rather pedantic when it comes to order.
Let's get going. The entire neighborhood can see us up here.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change." On second glance, someone has forgotten to...
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Couron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry. The drawer slides shut. The file cabinet stands steady as ever. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwriting. It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes Special whirling borscht. Water Everart's plants. Sweep office floor. More banners. All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled.
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list. Remember, Leo, Everart's all items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled. The drawer slides. The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move. It's unclear whether you actually have muscle memory. Right now, your finger is just, sure, why not? Muscle. The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for you. It's unclear whether you actually, sure. The machine swallows your coin. Your fingers run over the dial pad. 005. That's the dialing code for Revachol. 4952. Calling. Still calling.
Video Revachol, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lummy. How may I help you?
The voice of a youngster on the other end sounds as enthusiastic as that of a man.
Video Revachol is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10mm film for home use. This is Lummy. No. Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here. Maybe you call to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period? If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of Voyager and Main. I can't help you over the phone. Are we done?
The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disc. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer in. It's proving to be harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together.
Ainda estou aqui a miar, mas tipo, eu não mio muito. Para que eu sou concentrado em tentar resolver isto, que isto é muito complexo.
The file cabinets, the drawers.
Este jogo puxa por mim as minhas capacidades de dedução.
control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems Marche on, Arrête off. A rusting marsh. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. With a surprisingly quiet thunk, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been fulfilled. Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built.
I can't see how that was worth the ruckus, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
The crane does not return to its original position. No screech of metal when you... Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Is this like your thing with that wall again? You do? Because I don't. There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? You just picked one out because you wanted to interact with a cargo container. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to interview the Union boss.
No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside that can... You attempt to turn the handle. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. Before the cargo container. Its drawer has not... Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Why are you what? Are you satisfied, detective?
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you... Why are you even trying to open a door?
Because what wasn't an option? Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective.
You're back before the cargo container. Why are you even...
Why are you satisfied, detective?
You're back before the cargo container. Despite the dirt that surrounds and trails you, a beacon of light emerges. The door stands.
Satisfied, detective?
Try again. Just like that, you hear a click.
Ahoy! Come on in!
You can't be serious.
Stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Welcome. Come in. Make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to receive you.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen? Who am I? Oh, I haven't been anyhow. My name is Rustam Diodor, investor, license holder.
Mr. Diodor, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
Pleasure to meet you. Public service is a noble cause.
Oh Lord, not this again. Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the... And yet, it never seems to get...
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, I inherited my fourth all I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices.
Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that. But, alright.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really. Sure, and they benefit when I buy things to stimulate the economy. Do you know how many jobs it takes to build and maintain a racing yacht? Dozens, at least. Of course, in the future, it will all be automated. But my point is this. Every man gets what he earns. It's the height of tyranny to take that from him. Capital makes one speechless, does it not? Blinds like the...
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place? That's what you need to ask him about.
What do you mean? Are you talking about my chin? Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our...
The Weiss-Wieserman coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, it means one person possesses all the net worth among that group of individuals. It's been observed that when the Weiss-Wieserman coefficient reaches about 0.96 or so, the laws of physics begin to bend around the high net worth individual. The Weiss-Wieserman coefficient 0.999, that's not good for you.
Among other things. But calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire. No, not really. There are actually quite many digits.
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez. In a car.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you. Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun. By the way, let me now ask you a question.
In the very, very early days of colonizing this archipelago, the kingdom of Surens, a precursor of a modern Sir Leclerc. Used to own the city of Revachol, an obscure detail in the bigger picture, but still worth dropping.
Fellow history buff, I myself am currently reading up on Frank. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money. There simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. They're always spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. Smart, no? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals, luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. What? No, I didn't say that at all. Being rich is great.
Could you please stop asking people for money? It does not reflect well on the RCM, and to be perfectly frank, we can't afford to look worse than we already do.
It's perfectly alright. Based on your appearance, I can tell I'm dealing. As you may know, us high net worth individuals do not have a lot of cash on hand. Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this? You're welcome. You know, maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound? Thanks for stopping by. If you ever... Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for...
If business planning were really your strong suit, you probably wouldn't be a cop.
He should what?
The volunteer police force. And why would I do that?
Just a minute. The RCM has its...
You know, that's exactly what I've heard. From what I understand, still, the idea of a privatized police force is a killer. If you could invest in
the latest technological wonders.
The RCM's problems aren't the kind you can solve.
If I could interject, the RCM's problems are mainly structural. We are hamstrung by a lack of clear lines of authority, and our system of performance reviews strongly disincentivize it.
I think the lieutenant's right. Your problems run much deeper than equipment or funding.
Yes, that's precisely what we need.
Hell no! Can you imagine how much work that would take? To think about investing is that the less work you have to do, the better.
The lieutenant's disappointment is palpable. It's...
Now, was there anything else I could... Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
If business planning were really your strong suit, you probably wouldn't.
Go on. Yes. Hold on. Have we met before? Yeah, on second thought, your idea reminds me of a group of young men. They pitched me and a handful of other investors on an idea for a well, at first everything was rosy. They lacked the will to get things done. We lost all of our money.
I guess the inordinate amount of time they put into drawing mythical creatures did not generate a return on investment.
Sadly, when we got there, it was too late. The concept had run out of steam. What I want to tell you is this. It's a very bad idea. Dead in the water. You're welcome. Now, was there something else? Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
If business planning were really your strong...
Go on. Yes, hold on. Have you... No, 1 second. You're a big bitch. Well, there will...
I guess the inordinate amount.
Nobody knows for sure, but the place can't be pretty. Sadly, when we got there, what I want to tell you is this. Absolutely not. Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
If business planning were really your strong...
He should...
The volunteer police force. And what I don't believe still. Tell me.
The latest technological wonders.
Right?
If I could interject.
I think...
Yes. That's precise.
Precisely. What you think about investing?
The lieutenant's disappointment.
Now, we're getting 2 seconds. Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I...
Deploying high-concept buzzword generator. All systems functional. Ready to engage. It's time to disrupt the future. You've got to stay lean, innovative, and focus on what matters most. The children.
A youth center, huh? What kind of youth center?
Come on, tell him what he wants to hear.
Brilliant. Without children, who'll be there to buy stuff in the future? When life closes a door, it opens a window, yes? What's the expected return on this?
You're deep into ultra-liberal territory now. Good work.
Very impressive. You've got a natural eye for unusual investment opportunities. I don't normally do this without a formal pitch deck, but to hell with it. What's the first round of seed funding? This should be enough to prove out the concept and get things off the ground. Remember, it's not a handout.
The lieutenant stands there, dumbfounded. His mouth opens slightly, then closes again.
Este jogo de merda, meu.
Is he having a stroke?
No, I'm not having a stroke. You are just still full of surprises. Most of them bad, but some good.
The lieutenant has granted you an aura of legitimacy. Bathe in it, but don't let your satisfaction show. Play it cool.
Now, was there anything else I could help?
Ah pá, agora que eu reparei, quanta gente mais se aproxima, mais dinheiro tem. Ali no canto. Ok.
container, I'll turn you nice and red.
The lyrics to this container song are being... The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisunt.
Container, container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, container, now belongs to Everard. Everard, 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 he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister? I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you? I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh yes, born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then, too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes I am, yes I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pines livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container. There appear to be cisterns underneath the Union container covers.
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
Oh, I don't know, mister. They say it's some chemicals. Most of them have labels on them, I think. Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from... We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha!
So no one is...
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is... But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent him on a nice vacation. For a week or so. Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off. I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. That's just how boys are, you know.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
I remember I was the runt of the class. The bigger boys always used to pick on me. But Mr. Everett and his brother always came to help. Once they beat old Noel Becker so bad he needed stitches on his head. Noel never start. Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar are real nice guys, mister. You should go talk to Mr. Everett. I'm sure you'll be good friends. He's friends with everyone around here. Yes, yes, everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way, Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me... I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town. And Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Yes, this place really seems to run like clockwork. Keep it up, Leo.
Well, thanks a lot. Coming from you, it means a lot, really. Sometimes I feel some of the guys don't really get how much I bust my ass for them here. Oh, we're on a strike.
So no...
No, but Titus and his boys got into some drunken... Oh, him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight. No, I don't think they killed anyone. let's better talk about something.
He probably doesn't know anything anyway. Who in their right mind would tell him?
Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done. Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags. Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad. Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this. Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school, we did, when we were boys. Oh, Mr. Everard is usually in his office, of course. But you gotta be quick if you want to see him. He leaves around 10 p.m. Bye-bye now.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, with a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair on the other.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need, yes, but you owe him for it.
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of...
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Okay. I respect a man with principles. No handouts then. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. Despair creeps into you. Getting fat on your weakness. You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
Yes, it can be difficult to be on the receive.
Nothing you can say. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following a nervous breakdown. He now lives under a bridge, drinking and occasionally throwing excrement at passers-by, shouting, "I never loved."
Ok. Isto até foi bom porque vamos parar aqui. Já é bem tarde. É verdade. Ainda bem que disseste isso mesmo. Foi mesmo a seguir de eu ter dito que ia acabar. Está tudo. Bom. Ok. Já percebi. Bom, thank you for watching. Amanhã há mais. Bye bye. Até logo.